My name's Tighe. I work for the Salvation Army's media office. I'm going to be living next week beneath the line, which means I'm going to be living off £5 a week for all my food and drink. It's something that I'm a little bit scared of and I don't know very much about, so I've come here to the Preston Corps of the Salvation Army, to their food bank, to find out a little bit more about what sort of stuff goes into a food parcel, how food's given out to those who need it, who are the most vulnerable, as well as what sort of things I should be looking at in order to survive throughout next week. And here is Chris, who is one of the volunteers at Preston Corps that helps with the distribution of food in the area. How are you, Chris?
Hello.
So what goes into a food parcel? What's kind of the basic kind of parts of it?
A basic food parcel, it all of course depends on the donations we've received, but we try to include a tin of baked beans, a tin of spaghetti, a couple of tins of soup, a tin of meat, a tin of fish, a packet of pasta or a packet of rice, a pasta sauce if we've got any, a tin of rice pudding, perhaps a tin of custard, a tin of fruit if we've got them in stock. Usually about 14 items.
Does it change depending on the sort of person that you've got in? So if you've got somebody who's homeless, how does that compare to if you've got a family?
Someone who's homeless, obviously they won't have the means of cooking, so we'll tend to try and put together something that doesn't involve cooking. Hopefully they might be able to have access to a kettle. You know, if we could give them a pot noodle or some packet of these noodles that you can get from the supermarket that aren't terribly expensive but are quite filling. And then there was talk of trying to put together a pack that will consist of perhaps a couple of drinks, carton drinks, and a couple of sausage rolls, maybe some sliced bread, dairy triangles, something like that. Something that doesn't need to be refrigerated, that can be eaten straight away without too much hassle. Some smart price pasta, which is about 29 pence. Tin potatoes, which are 19 pence, quite filling. And then add them to chopped tomatoes, put that with the pasta together. You've got something that's got a bit of a taste to it and quite filling. Chickpeas, again, they're very filling, very nutritious. You could add those in. They're not terrifically expensive, especially if you buy that made from the supermarket. Tin potatoes, as I say, 19 pence. Tin of soup even. Tin of vegetable soup. You can add a tin of potatoes in with it, and it's not cost a great deal of money. And you've got a meal that fills you up and is warm.
This is a shop for the actual food bank, isn't it?
This was a shop that was done today and included 20 packets of these noodles. They're 11 pence each. 3 packets, 3 jars of sauce, 6 tins of chopped tomatoes, 10 tins of potatoes, 10 tins of custard, 10 tins of rice pudding, and it all came to £10.41.
So I'm now with Claire. Claire is the first person that somebody asking for a food parcel will see at Preston Corps.
That's right, yeah.
Claire, what's your job?
I'm the general assistant at Preston, so I am sort of the first port of call when anyone comes into the centre. A lot of people come to us because they've had their benefits stopped, or you know, they're just on. They might have some deductions come out of their benefits, so they're only on a low income every week. In that case, especially over the winter, the majority of people were just spending the money on fuel, on gas and electricity. So then they didn't have any money left for, you know, to buy food. School holidays as well. We tend to see an increase in people over the school holidays because children aren't getting their free school meals. So that's when we start to see a lot of families come to us. They get referred from social services or different children's centres in the area.
So there you go really. Looks like I'm going to be buying a lot of value pasta from supermarkets and trying to live off 29p sauces. But it looks more possible, and I'm a bit more hopeful than I was before I started out, but I think it's going to be really, really tough. If you do want to sponsor me, the website is www.livebelowtheline.com/me/MikeTyhe9788, and you can also find out more about the Salvation Army's efforts, not only with food profits in the UK, but also in terms of its international development agency, the charity I'm raising money for, online at the Salvation Army website.